Skyview High School Sports, a presentation of 106.9 FM, 1390 AM The Fan, and Cache Valley Daily. Brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Old Grist Mill, Les Olson Company, DD Auto Salvage, Logan Cash Rich Credit Union, and Cache Valley Daily. Now, it's time for the Skyview Bobcats on 106.9 The Fan.
Good evening and welcome to Plain City, Utah. It's the site of the game tonight. It is the Skyview Bobcats and the Fremont Silverwolves. So the Skyview Bobcats 3-0, the Fremont Silverwolves 0-3. John Newbold and Rex Davis here. And I want to say that we're in the middle of a tornado. I haven't quite been in a tornado before, Rex, but this wind down here is amazing.
Yeah, it's been knocking cameras over, we have no pregame papers. They just all blew into the stands here for the Silverwolves fans to read. So, yeah, we'll just kind of be shooting from the hip here, I guess, John.
Yeah, when the Silverwolves, when they're down there getting their fans in, they're down getting their concessions, they can grab one of those papers and see the records of all the teams and all the other Region 11 teams that are playing tonight across the state of Utah. But we're live here tonight, and we thank you for joining us in Plain City as it's the Bobcats, like we mentioned, 3-0, and the Silverwolves 0-3. The Silverwolves are in 6A. They're picked, I believe, if I remember right, if I open my notebook, there'll be more for the concession stand to have, so I'm not going to. We're actually on the roof, if you can't tell by the sound of the wind blowing in the mic.
I'm standing with one leg out to brace myself, too. This is rough.
Yeah, Rex actually tied me down so we don't lose me atop the press box here. But the Bobcats come into this game, Rex, they're averaging nearly 48 points a game, giving up about 28 points a game. And I've heard a lot of people say, hey, this defense of Skyview maybe isn't as good, but their offense is really clicking. And I counter that by saying Skyview's played some decent teams this year that can score points as well. Skyview's defense, we knew they'd be a little bit slow catching on, and I feel each game they've improved.
I agree, and I think last week, John, we saw the emergence of Easton Ballard. Easton Ballard was playing the linebacker position last week. Coach talked about him in post-game, and that kid was flying to the ball, John. We think he finished the game with 20 tackles last week.
Yeah, officially he had 20 tackles. So Jace Lillywhite was our McDonald's player of the game. We added, once we saw the stats, because we don't keep track of tackles, Easton Ballard, we added him to the list of the McDonald's players of the game. So you had co-players of the game last week in the big victory for the Bobcats, 45-28 over the defending 3A champions, the Morgan Trojans. And the Morgan Trojans are hosting Green Canyon tonight, so that should be an interesting game in Morgan there to see how those two teams stack out, because you've got Morgan, who is not got the victories but have played tough. They beat Bear River, they lost to Crimson Cliffs and Skyview, and then you've got Green Canyon, who is 3-0, and their defense is really leading them. So that should be a great game in Region 11. Ridgeline, they're at Cedar Valley. Bear River is hosting Carbon, if I remember right.
If only we could look at our notes. My favorite thing is you keep trying to open your binder to look at your notes and realize it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and Logan, I don't know who they play, to be honest, off the top of my head. I am going to open it and try to find my notes, but the Logan Grizzlies are hosting Juan Diego, and Mountain Crest is at Minico. And those are the games going on in the other region games. So as we look more into this game, the series is tied at 4-4, but we're doing they're going to do the national anthem, so we're going to take a break and step aside and come back right after this.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's take pride in being part of our community. Your local McDonald's is hiring with flexible hours, tuition reimbursement, and great pay. Start your career today. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com. McDonald's is an equal opportunity employer committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
Now is the time to head over to Cache Valley Auto Care, because when your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care, behind Home Depot on 200 East, 1175 North.
Old Gristmill on South Main Logan, 4th North Logan, and now Smithfield offer Cache Valley that famous lunch special and natural bread baked the right way. Get your made-to-order lunch or baked goods at Cache Valley's Best of Northern Utah gold-winning bakery. The Old Gristmill, here for you.
From what's happening in local political elections, to breaking news, to photo galleries and replays of the latest games. If it's happening in our community, it's on CacheValleyDaily.com and the Cache Valley Daily app. Local, relevant news on CacheValleyDaily.com.
Welcome back to Fremont High School. Lauren Olson, a student here at Fremont High School, just belted out the national anthem.
She killed it, John. That's the best one I've heard in a long time.
That was an awesome rendition of it, and so we get closer to kickoff of the Bobcats and the Silverwolves. It's a gorgeous night, Rex, here in Plain City. A gorgeous view of the mountains and everything. The only thing bad about it is the wind, and it's going to play a factor tonight, not just in the kicking game, Rex, but in the pre-games. The quarterbacks for each team, when they were throwing the ball, you could see those out routes. That ball was really having trouble getting to the receivers.
Right, and we've seen the emergence of Carson Thatcher. We talked a little bit about the emergence of Easton Ballard, but we saw Carson Thatcher really come into his own too the last few weeks, and he was having one heck of a time hitting the out route. Anything that requires there being air underneath the ball, that wind is catching it. I mean, take a look at the flag over here. This thing is ripping. And I expect that might play a role in the game, depending on how long this wind lasts, John. It's going to be interesting to see if that ends up swaying the game one way or the other.
Well, we're hoping that we don't get any rain. I don't think there's any in the forecast. It's just really windy. The wind is coming from the south to the north, and it is whipping here in Plain City. You can hear it on our mics. Your video experience on CacheValleyDaily.com is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. Adams Wealth Advisors wants to know your interests. Visit them at adamswealthadvisors.com to find out more information. And also, here come the Bobcats running out of the locker room out there, Rex. But the logo shop is the sponsor of our uniform check, and the Bobcats are in white tops, the white jerseys, blue pants, and the blue helmets. And as they get to the field, Rex will get a shot of that. As the student section for Skyview over there, they're in a neon out, is what that is tonight on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. And the Fremont Silverwolves, they're in their home jerseys. They're in like royal blue pants and then a black jersey with blue numerals and white helmets as we get closer to kickoff here in Plain City. So again, we thank you for joining us here on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
I wish I could get a shot of the fans here. They're all rocking their jerseys. I think I'd probably end up dumping the camera if I did, but I like the jersey night theme that they got going on here at Fremont. You got old school basketball players, old school football players, and everything in between. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the students for the Silverwolves have shown out tonight. You even see a Lionel Messi jersey down there. So
they're not all cool jerseys, but but some of them are pretty cool.
So again, the Skyview Bobcats, as they are awaiting, rushing onto the field.
I think we're waiting for Fremont.
Well, Fremont's out. So again, the Bobcats come into this game averaging 48 points a game. I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't do, but I'm going to try here with the wind. So Fremont, their coach Clay Bayard is in his second season. They're 4-8 overall last year. They're 0-3 this year. Their quarterback is a sophomore, Slade Parker. 428 yards passing on the season, 3 TDs, but the big problem, Rex, is the turnovers. 7 interceptions, and that's going to cost them. They've only rushed for just nearly 170 yards, and so that's one game for Brevin Egbert. On the season, they're only averaging 12 points a game and allowing nearly 34 points a game. And like we mentioned, the Skyview Bobcats are averaging 48 points a game. And if I can pull it, they're 28 points giving up. Carson Thatcher only needs 38 yards passing tonight to get the 1,000-yard mark on the season.
That's wild. 4 games into the season. That's a wild stat right there, John.
And the wind started to pick up, so I better put these papers away before I don't have them at all.
Yeah, the wind is setting car alarms off behind us. That's how hard the wind is blowing.
So again, the Bobcats and the Silver Wolves will thank our cameraman, Rex Davis. He's going to be pulling double duty tonight as there's all kinds of gremlins here on the roof as the teams go to meet at midfield to do the coin flip. So we'll have that on CashValleyDaily.com. Again, your video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. Again, we want to thank our sponsors. Logo Shop is our sponsor of our uniform check. And we won't have stats like we usually do, and we're not going to be able to write down play-by-play. It is just too windy up here to even get things going. So,
I cannot believe all the car alarms going off, John. This is
insane. Even when they flip the coin, is that going to be affected by this wind?
Well, we can zoom in. We have the power of zoom.
And they do flip it. It hits the turf. We'll see, because that will determine which side of the field you start on.
Yeah, here he goes. He's explaining what is heads and what is tails.
Okay, so
I think Brevin understands, being a 4.0 student.
Yeah, he didn't need to even look. He knows what the coin shows. He could probably predicted the year. Again, Skyview Sports brought to you by Great Basin Graphics. You can always go to greatbasingraphics.com for more information. So there's the coin flip. It looks like he's going to talk to Fremont. So Fremont's won the toss. So I think they'll definitely go with the wind. As they talk to the captains for Skyview, we'll see here. You're going to have a lot of touchbacks if you can get that ball in the air, too.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So Fremont, they'll receive. So they elect to receive. Skyview looks like they're going to defend the north side, I believe, but we'll see as we get closer to kickoff tonight. We're going to step aside for a brief break. Hopefully our ads are working, because they started to, but then maybe not. But the way things have gone tonight, we'll see. We'll take a short break and be back for kickoff right after this. All right. Again, we want to thank you for listening. Stay tuned post-game. We'll have our McDonald's player of the game. McDonald's locations in Smithfield, Logan, South Logan, Hiram, Brigham City, and Tremont. And also Napa Auto Parts. You can count on Napa Auto Parts for the parts you need and the parts you use every day. So we get ready for kickoff. John Newbold, Rex Davis with you. Like we said, we won't be able to keep stats tonight, and we won't have our regular play-by-play list to keep track of how long drives are because of the wind up here on top of the roof.
I feel like that's a big loss too, John, because I feel like it paints such a big picture, and it gives us a better idea of who, to pick for the McDonald's player of the game. But as we've mentioned, we're just going to kind of be winging it here tonight.
We're just glad that we're on the air. And we thank you for tuning in. 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan, as well as if you're watching on CashValleyDaily.com, your video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. So the Bobcats are going to be kicking it to the south. And I'll tell you what, Rex, with this wind, I wouldn't try to even get it in the air. Jameson, I would kick a squib kick and hope that Well, actually, I take that back. I'd kick it in the air because it's going to be hard to judge.
Yeah, maybe it'll hang up in the air and you got a chance. I mean,
It's a live ball. It only needs to go 10 yards.
Right.
And look, the coaching staff is telling Fremont, scoot
Yeah.
up. It's no way going to be kicked that deep.
no, not with this wind.
So Skyview will be kicking to the south, left to right on your radio dial. As Brannick Jameson backs up. There's the whistle. And Jameson gets his foot into it. It hangs up into the air, and it's going to come down at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, up to the 25, and he's spun around, still gets to about the 30-yard line. So that was Hadley on the return.
I'm going to give Mason Marchand credit for the tackle there.
For Skyview. Yeah, so the Bobcats are on defense, and starting off at quarterback, we believe it will be Slade Parker, the sophomore, but in pregame we did see Kason Pearson throwing the ball too, but it does look like it's Parker out there. And then his running back, Cade Hadley, is back there. Nope, looks like Brig Grange and Hadley. There's 3 running backs back there. So shotgun, turnaround, handoff to Grange. He goes up the middle, and Grange is hit for a short gain of 2. So 2nd and 8.
I guess the good thing about running this camera and calling the game is I'm going to be able to see who makes every tackle. I mean, Tyson Bradley with the tackle there, but I don't know how much I can actually chip in on why things happened.
Well, and you've got the scoreboard running.
Hopefully that'll help paint a picture for people.
Okay, so 1 running back, that's Grange in the backfield behind the quarterback Parker. He takes the snap, he pitches it out to the right. Skyview busts through, and they meet him at the 35. That was Egbert, that was the first linebacker there. He gained about 3 or 4 yards, and so it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Really good pursuit there by the linebackers. Every linebacker on Skyview is flowing to ball and able to make that stop there.
I meant 3rd and 4. They've gained 6 yards, so it was a 4-yard gain after the 2-yard gain. So it brings up 3rd and 4 from their own 36, opening drive here for the Silver Wolves. They've got the 3 running backs in the backfield, Parker in shotgun. You can hear that wind whipping. Parker tries to draw Skyview off sides. He doesn't. Now he gets a snap. He's back to pass. Still looking, rolling out to the right. He's in pursuit. He throws. He's got a man out there. Incomplete. He had the man out there for a wide open receiver at the 40 of Skyview, but he threw it too far, incomplete, and it brings up 4th and 4.
Yeah, John, he had him like you said, but sometimes when you're a sophomore, you're going to end up missing a throw here and there. And if Fremont can connect with that on future drives, it was there. He got behind the secondary.
Zach Delbridge, he plays defensive line. He's actually their punter. And Vickers is standing at the 25. He's going to back up because they'll be kicking with the wind on 4th and 4 from their own 36. Snap back, kick is on the way. It's a long kick that bounces at the 20, takes a bounce and goes into the end zone. So it's a terrific punt of about 66 yards. There's a flag on the far side of the field, Rex. But they only net 46 in the punt. But let's see what the flag is about. That's in the place of a sideline warning or a hold.
Yeah, it's really close over there.
And it's an illegal procedure on the Silver Wolves. I wouldn't make them kick it again, but maybe Skyview will. They're going to. So the 5-yard penalty will take it from the 36 back to the 31. They're going to make Fremont kick it again, Rex.
Yeah, and maybe that's the right call. Maybe you give Vickers a chance to do something here. He's an electric kid when he gets the ball in his hands. And, maybe coach wants to see what he can do.
Well, and he knows how Delbridge is going to kick it now. It's a low-line drive. I mean, that thing was a rocket, too. That was a missile because it hit the 20, and I don't think that was wind-aided. That was just a missile.
Yeah, that was a great punt. And I love when you see a big man out there.
Yeah, he plays D-line.
Launching punts.
Rex, he's listed at 6 foot 200.
He's every bit of it.
So with 10:24 in the first quarter, it's 0-0.
I'll see if I can keep this one in the frame.
Fremont went 3 and out. They're punting on 4th and 9 now. Vickers standing at his own 10. Snap back, gets the punt away, and this one bounces at the 25, and Vickers he fumbles it, but he got on it. He tried to scoop it. He did a good job, but luckily he was able to jump on it, and Skyview actually would have had it at the 20. They make him punt it again, and it's back at the 13.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk you take. I mean,
and it's not a bad risk, because if Vickers can catch that cleanly after it bounced off the turf, because this one wasn't coming in with so much mustard there.
I think it was last week that we saw Vickers actually do that very same thing. He scooped one up off the turf and went running with it. So
Skyview will, if they throw, are going to be throwing into the wind, going left or right to the south. 1st and 10 at their own 13 for Thatcher. Takes it, turn around, handoff, big hole for Egbert to the 20, 25, 30. He's across the 30 to the 32-yard line, a 19-yard gain on 1st down, Rex. Huge hole to the left.
Man, that is just great play call there by offensive coordinator Brant Reese. I like it. Go out there, pound the ball. We've seen on film that Fremont kind of struggles with stopping the run at times, and Brevin Egbert makes them pay for it there.
Well, they give up 34 points a game, so their defense is not the greatest. So 1st and 10 from their own 32. Zammel goes in motion to the right. Now they turn around, hand off to Egbert. Another huge hole to the 40. This time he's caught at the 40, though. He about broke it, but another big hole in the trenches there, Rex.
Yeah, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Just keep turning around, handing that ball off to Egbert. Another nice run there for a gain of 8.
Yeah, last time they had trips to the right side. This time they have Zammel in there, and they brought him in as extra blocker on that left side. But an 8-yard gain on 1st down. So Egbert has 27 yards rushing on 2 carries so far, up to the 40-yard line of Skyview for 2nd and 2. 9:09 left in the first, no score. Williams in motion. They've got 3 receivers to the right. They're going to pass it out to Williams on the little flare pass. He's up to the 45, breaks a tackle. He's got the 1st down. Up to the 47 from the 40, a 7-yard gain for a 1st down.
I like the motion of that play, John. I like how they bring Brighton full head of steam, right? We know he's the fastest kid on this Bobcats offense. Full head of steam, throw it to him in stride and let him go make a play.
Well, not only that, but you had trips right, so you've got 3 blockers naturally out there. So 1st and 10 Bobcats, opening drive for them at their own 48, or 47, excuse me. They turn around, hand off to Egbert, left side. This time there's no room, and he only gains 1 yard as they get him onto his knee. So
bottled
a 1-yard
by
gain.
The punter there, John.
Well, the tackle by Delbridge then.
Yeah.
So there you go, the shortest run of the night as the wind dies down for probably a split second. Oh, they gave him 2 yards, Rex, up to the 49. So 2nd down and 8 for the Bobcats at their own 49. 8:05 left in the first quarter, no score. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. And Thatcher gets 4 guys to jump on the hard count. Something we haven't been able to see this season. Too many people jump, but they got it that time. He'll be offsides and move Skyview forward 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 3 in Fremont territory at the 46-yard line of Fremont. If you hear some sniffling, me and Rex will be sniffling a little bit tonight. We'll try not to too much.
I keep trying to mute it, but it's...
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 3. Zammel goes in motion to the right. They turn around, they hand it off to Egbert. No hole there, but he finds some room. He's going to be a yard shy. He needed 3. He got 2. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 44 of Fremont.
You know what I'd like to see, John? I'm just going to be crazy here. I'd love to see a fake handoff or some tempo here.
There you go, tempo. Under center, it's Thatcher trying to draw him off sides. They don't jump.
That's smart by Fremont.
So they've got Egbert and Zammel behind Thatcher in that tight formation under center on 3rd and 1. He takes it, they push him forward, he's got the 1st down. That's kind of what you see with the Philadelphia Eagles when they had Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, Rex.
Absolutely.
That formation, he only needed 1, he got it. The one thing I will say is Skyview usually gets a better push when they go to that formation.
I don't.
He barely got
stopped on that.
No,
I don't
but
think this entire season they've been stopped on that formation.
But he only got 1 yard. Usually it's 2. But it's to the 43 and a 1st and 10 for the Bobcats, and they're chewing up clock. Clock is under 7 minutes. No score here in the opening quarter. They're at the 43 of Fremont. They're looking to the sideline for the play. It's 1st and 10 Bobcats. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball is in the middle hash of the hashes. They hand off to Egbert, left side, and he's met by the linebacker for no gain. And you can see already they've only thrown one time and run the rest of it. And the reason is because the wind, they're throwing into it.
Yeah, like we said in pregame, John, Thatcher he's got as good arm strength as any high school quarterback, but even into this wind, he could not get it.
2nd and 10 for the Bobcats, and they draw him off sides again, but they didn't call it. The defensive end on the far side jumped across, but they said he didn't come all the way. So 2nd and 10 from the Fremont 43, clock down to 6 minutes here in the opening quarter, no score. 2 receivers to each side, Egbert in the backfield. Back to pass is Thatcher. He's looking, he throws, complete. I believe Williams out there at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Brighton Williams.
What a dart by Thatcher into the wind.
Yeah, it's funny, we were just saying the out routes is what Thatcher was struggling with in pregame.
Here's your tempo, Rex. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3rd down and about 5 from the 38-yard line. They need to get to the 33, yeah, so 3rd and 5 Bobcats at the 38 of Fremont. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Egbert in the backfield, Thatcher in shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throw, complete to Williams, and he is dropped by the safety. Holy cow, what a hit, but enough for the first down in that slot receiver position for Brighton Williams.
Yeah, that was some one-on-one crime. That's the senior Noah Austin, the defensive back for the Silver Wolves, coming up and laying the wood there.
Brighton Williams, great route there to get the first down. Got enough yardage. First down at the 32-yard line. He needed 5, he got 6. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Clock down to 5 minutes as Skyview looks to the sideline on the east to get the play call. Now he goes back in shotgun. Under 5 minutes to play in the first. Egbert finds a little hole and he cuts to the left. Short gain of 2 yards to the 30. So after Egbert had 19, and then he had, I believe, if I remember right, about 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9, yeah.
Then after that, everything's been under 5,
Cool
really.
Down just a little bit, yeah.
2nd and 8 at the Fremont 30 for the Bobcats. Twin receivers to each side. Egbert behind Thatcher, kind of in the pistol this time as Egbert's lined up right behind him. And now on to the right side. Thatcher takes it, fakes the handoff. He does give it to him, and he's to the 25, stays on his feet, but they barely trip him up. Nice tackle there, number 33. That was Crew Hassel. And I'll tell you what, Rex, that's like the Boise State ran in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, like the old Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like, as he gave the handoff inside, so it's 3rd and 2. Now at the 24 of Fremont. 3 receivers to the right. Handoff to Egbert. He's got a hole. He's up the middle. 15-10. 5 touchdown Skyview. From 24 yards out, Bregman Egbert scores first for the Bobcats. And it's 6-0 pending the extra point.
Wow, what a great run up the middle there by Brevin Egbert, showing you the balance and speed. I mean, he turned on the jets there, John, to punch that in for 6.
So you're going to go for the extra point here. Calebe de Quadros with 3:33 on the clock. Waiting for the snap. I believe that's Castillo still. Snap back, cold down, kick on the way by Calebe is good. And so the Bobcats take an early lead, 7-0 with 3:33 left. We're just going to take a little break here and be back right after this. Welcome back to Fremont High School, 7-0 Bobcats. Want to thank Logan Cashrich Credit Union bringing you this game on The Fan. Well, Jamison's going to kick into the wind. We'll see what he does here. He puts it up in the air. He boots it. It's going to hang in the air and come down at the 10 to the 15. Goes up the middle. He's got a hole, and he runs into his own man at the 30-yard line. I'd say that was close to a holding, but the Bobcats wrap him up. There's about 4 or 5 guys there.
It's actually a really impressive kick, all things considered, John. I didn't see exactly where that landed, but I think it was right around the 7 or so.
I mean, and I didn't think that they would be able to get any kicks that deep with this wind.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So again, Skyview leading 7-0. I don't know how many plays it was, but they capped it off with a 24-yard run by Brevin Egbert. So 7-0, 3:23 opening quarter, 2 receivers to each side, and Parker comes out in the shotgun with Grange in the backfield for Fremont from their own 31. They fake the handoff. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's going to go deep. He throws out there, and it's picked off. Easton Ballard with the tip and the pick. I don't know who it was. It was Easton Ballard that tipped it. And you got the replay, I think, Rex.
I tried. I'm jumping from camera to the... Oh, seriously.
And the replay didn't work. So Easton Ballard tipped it from his safety position, and then we didn't see who picked it off. We'll try to get who it was. Hey, who got that pick? Ramsey. So Ramsey Vickers with the pick, Easton Ballard with the tip, Rex, with 3:14 and 8 interceptions on the year for Parker. So Thatcher from his own 32 hands it off. Egbert finds a hole. He bowls over a defender and then gets across to the 42-yard line. From the 33 up to the 41 is where they're going to say his knee came down. So 8 yards. It will bring up 2nd and 2. So Ramsey Vickers with the pick.
Yeah, try to scribble that one down, John. We got to remember that.
I got her down. So with 2:45, Skyview leading 7-0 in the opening quarter. We'll try to keep scores from the other games. So from the 41, Thatcher takes it. He's going to throw. It's incomplete. It's popped up in the air on the slant pattern to Guthrie. Incomplete.
Yeah, a little bit of hand fighting going on there at the top of the route, John. Guthrie, really tight coverage there. Thatcher threw it, led him to the inside of the field, which was the right call, right play to make there, but falls incomplete. I'd say luckily for Skyview there, because that ball floated in the air for just a moment.
2:30 left in the first quarter, 7-0 Bobcats. Play clock. They hand off. That's Hans Herman. He's got the first down as he stretches forward. He went to the left side. And there must be something in films that they've seen on that left side of the line, Rex, because they've gone there every time.
A lot of rushes to the left, and I think that's really crucial, John, what we just saw. Hans Herman comes in the game and spells Brevin Egbert and has a positive gain. They have to do that. Egbert's been worked so hard these last 3 games.
On both sides of the ball. So up to the 44, a 3-yard gain was for the first down. Turn around, hand off to Herman again, left side, and this time he's wrapped up, but he's not going to go down without a fight, and he gains about 4 yards. Holy cow.
Absolute tough running. That's the yards that he got. It was 3 yards, but it was 3 yards after contact. I mean, he got hit right at the line there.
Clock down to under 2 minutes here in the opening quarter, 7-0 Skyview. So again, Skyview 2nd down and about 6 from the 47-yard line. Back to pass, Thatcher throws, low catch, he caught it. No, they're going to say incomplete. I thought that he did catch it. I think that's Favero.
It was
Hellstern.
Hellstern went down to get it.
Yeah, and I thought he scooped it off the turf there, but they said that it did bounce.
Our cameraman had the up and down locked, and he wasn't able to get the catch very clean. So,
well, whoever it is, work on that.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him at the end of the quarter. 7-0 Bobcats, 3rd down and 7 yards from the 47-yard line, their own 47. Ball is on the left hash. The wide side of the field is to the west. 3 receivers there, 1 to the lone side. Thatcher back to pass. They set up the screen. It's complete. Lot of room for Egbert. First down. Huge block downfield. Who is that lineman?
I think it's 60.
That's Connor Dean. No, that's 53, I think.
I don't know. It's either Connor Dean or Carter Andrews. It's one of the two.
They sealed that side and got a huge
both
block.
of them could have been over there too.
Lots of room for Egbert on the screenplay. Great play call by Coach Reese. It's 1st and 10 Bobcats in Fremont territory at the 44, and they draw him off sides. That time he came across the defensive end. So 5 yards, it's going to be 1st and 5 Bobcats, the second time they've gotten them.
I'm going to try something just to try it.
So if you're watching on CashValleyDaily.com, you'll see a blue replay.
Yeah, not working. It was saying that it's saving it, though.
So we are almost getting replays this year. 7-0 Skyview, 1:26 to go in the opening quarter. Skyview driving. Second possession after a Vickers interception. At the 38, 1st and 5, excuse me, not second. 1st and 5. Thatcher throws complete to, Williams hadn't even came out of his cut yet, and Thatcher had already let it rip. Incomplete.
That's pretty darn good timing there, though, John. I mean, that's a back shoulder throw. He's thrown it before Brighton even makes his break. He knows when he's going to make that break. He just missed him a little bit, but I think the timing of it was perfect.
And you notice how I said it was complete. It's because Brighton never drops it, and he was wide open because it was such a great route.
Right.
So 3 receivers to the right. They got a tight formation in there. They turn around, they hand it off. He follows his blockers. Egbert's got a 1st down and more up to the 30-yard line. Skyview's doing whatever they want in the trenches tonight against Fremont.
Yeah, that O-line is really winning the battle down there. And they're led by Connor Dean, Carter Andrews, Seth Toulson, Landon Elsner. These guys just doing work down there.
So an 8-yard gain up to the 30 for Egbert. He's pretty close to about 100 yards, I'm guessing. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Skyview. They're at the Fremont 30, 1st and 10. Egbert goes to the right hip of Thatcher this time. 3 receivers to the right, turn around, hand off to Egbert, and he's wrapped up and taken down, but he still fell forward for a yard gain. So Skyview won't have to run another play, Rex, and if I'm Skyview, I don't run another one against the wind. Just wait and flip the field, but we'll see what they want to do. As the play clock is at 30 seconds, the game clock is at 27, so they don't need to run another play, but it looks like they're going to try to line up and do something on 2nd and 9 at the Fremont 29. Skyview leading 7-0. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Game clock down to 10. 9, 8, and Thatcher just says hold it. So they're not going to run a play, Rex. Down to 4, 3, and he's just saying, no, we're not running a play. So they don't run a play. That will end the quarter 7-0, and they'll turn around and come down and go to the north to start the second quarter with a 7-0 lead. So again, we want to thank our sponsors today, bringing you Skyview Athletics all season long here on 1390 AM. 106.9 FM, The Fan. DD Auto and Salvage, no job is too big or too small. Call 787-1204. And I'm going to call DD Auto and Salvage right now and say, hey, stop this wind if you can.
Yeah, I don't think they can help you there, John.
Yeah, I don't
either. I'll tell you what they can't help you with. Getting you some money for your scrap metal.
That's the one thing they can do, and they will give you the best deal for your scrap metal. Again, 787-1204, DD Auto and Salvage. Also, CashValleyDaily.com. Go there for the latest news, scores, photo galleries, replays of tonight's game, and all the other region games. Visit CashValleyDaily.com. Or you can download their new mobile app, Cache Valley Daily. So Skyview starting the second quarter, leading 7-0. We did talk to our cameraman during the first quarter, and he's going to figure out and do a better job.
I was just showing the crowd.
Oh, okay. 7-0 Bobcats.
Trying.
At the 29 of Fremont. Man in motion is Zamel, right to left. They pitch it out to Egbert. He's got the edge. 25, following the blockers. He gets out to the 22-yard line. He's going to be a yard or two shy.
Tell you what, John, Preston Smith, the junior offensive lineman, really did a good job setting the edge over there.
3rd down and 2 at the 22 for the Bobcats. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The ball is on the left hash. The 3 receivers are on the east side of the field. Skyview knocking on the door again, and with this wind, I don't know if you attempt a field goal, but let's see if they even get to that point. 3rd and 2 Bobcats. Egbert on the right hip of Thatcher. Hand off to Egbert. Huge hole! 20-15-10. Oh, he's inside the 5. A game or a TD saving tackle at the 2-yard line. What a hole.
I like the reference, John. What a hole. What a hole indeed. The offensive line's just winning the battle.
So Skyview's got 1st and goal at the 2. Good night. That was a huge hole that Egbert ran through and about scored from 22 yards out. So Egbert in the backfield, turn around, hand it off on 1st and goal. He's stopped and drugged down right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. So 2nd and goal.
Well, defensive line does their job, holds on that play.
Maybe they moved it back to the 3. He might have lost a yard, Rick. No, he didn't.
I'm looking 2.
Nah, it's still 2nd and goal at the 2. You can hear that wind whipping. So Thatcher looking to the sideline. Play clock is down to 15. Game clock just underway here in the 2nd quarter at 10:20 in the half. 7-0 Skyview. Thatcher. Snap. Back to Egbert. Goes left side. He's into the touchdown. Yep. It was a delayed call, but he was laying on top of the defender. The defender tackled him, but Egbert landed on top of him in the end zone, and it's 13-0 Bobcats from 2 yards out with 10:07 here in the first half.
Well, we got two Brevin Egbert touchdowns to get the Bobcats going, jumping out to an early lead here against a 6A opponent in Fremont.
So Skyview leads 13-0. Calebe de Quadros comes out for the extra point. I snap back, hold down, kick up, and it's good. So with a 2-yard TD run, and it's 14-0 Skyview over Fremont with 10:07 in the half. Egbert with 2 rushing touchdowns, and a good start for the Bobcats in this first half in the weather, Rex. And the thing I like most about it is that they're because of all the runs, this clock is running, and maybe this game can get over quicker and we can get out of the elements here. But 14-0 Skyview here on CashValleyDaily.com. Your video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. Again, John Newbold, Rex Davis with you, and Rex running the camera as well. Double duties as we have had gremlins invade here in Plain City.
Absolutely taken over. John, I did get a text from Nick Davis. He said, don't worry so much about the wind. They're not picking it up quite as much as we are on the broadcast, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, if you could hear our headphones, but thanks, Nick. I'll stop mentioning that.
It just blew the ball off the tee, too.
Do we have any scored updates? That's the other thing.
I don't think we do, and we haven't sent any either, so we can't say anything too rude.
Well, I won't say anything rude. 7-0 Logan over Juan Diego. Bear River 23-0 over Carbon. Mountain Crest 7-6 over Minico. And Jamison kicks that one, and with the wind, that's going to go clear into the end zone. Skyview leading 14-0 here at Fremont.
I'll go ahead and send a score update to our colleagues, John, just to be fair to them.
So again, Skyview is leading 14-0, trying to stay undefeated on the season. But
you know what I'm realizing, John? My liners also blew away in the windstorm.
You lost every paper known to man when that happened, and it went all over the place.
The funny thing is I have multiple copies of them so that I don't ever have that happen. But
well, Fremont throws on first down. It's complete, and a great tackle there by the Bobcats. I think that was Brighton Williams. A loss of yards, a loss of 1. Parker took it, the quarterback, and just threw it out there quickly to the receiver, and he was tackled by Brighton Williams. So 2nd and 11, 9:42 in the half, 14-0 Skyview. Two running backs in the backfield for Parker, the quarterback, the sophomore. Takes the snap, he's going to turn around, hand it off. No, he keeps it himself with a pitch option. He pitches out there. They've got the corner, and then Hans Herman, And I believe that's number 13 out there. That's Cash Howell with the tackle.
That's really impressive eyesight there, John. I had to zoom in to see who it was, and you picked that up from up here. That's pretty good.
6-yard gain to the 25, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for Fremont. They've gone 3 and out. Well, they threw the interception, so I guess they didn't go 3 and out their second series. This is their 3rd series. Clock down to 8:53, 14-0 Skyview. Fremont's going right into the wind. That wind still coming from the south to the north. Parker back to pass. He throws complete. Skyview's there. That's Cash Howell again, and he pushes him back. Cash Howell, money. He's right on the spot. He is cash money that time. 2-yard gain.
Very nice, John. Yeah, nice play by Cash Howell. We were talking about it pregame. Easton Ballard really showing up at, hey, maybe this is going to be Cash Howell's game here defensively to get some double-digit tackles.
The senior, Zach Delbridge, comes out to punt. This time, Skyview's got 2 backs.
Yeah, they put Cash Howell back there with
Vickers. So they're standing at their own 40. Line of scrimmage is the Fremont 27. Snap is back. Delbridge gets his foot into it. It gets caught up in the wind. And a fair catch called by Cash Howell at about the 42 or 43-yard line. That's a smart play by Cash Howell. So Skyview, again, we're going to take a short break and come back. It's 14-0 Skyview with 7:58 here in the first half. So 3 receivers to the outside for Skyview. 1st and 10 at their own 42. Takes the snap, handoff to Egbert on the right side. That's not Egbert, but he's up to the 50-yard line, still pushing. I think that's, is that
somebody that has
16? So yeah. That's Dean Phillips, okay. I thought it was 18, but I look at the roster and I'm like, no, it's not Cooper Karen. Yeah,
so definitely Dean Phillips.
Dean Phillips on the right side gains 8.
Man, he's a stout kid too. Dean is a solid kid.
So 2nd down and 2 at midfield. Ball rests right on the 50. And I believe Phillips is back there in the backfield still on the left hip of Thatcher. The sun kind of is coming through the clouds a little bit.
It's making for an interesting looking field.
Play clock down to 3 for the Bobcats, down to 2, down to 1. Thatcher barely gets it off, still looking to throw. He throws out there, Brighton Williams. Incomplete. The defender was right there. Great defense there. Williams tried to create separation at the last second down at the 20, but he couldn't haul it in with one hand.
That would have been an amazing catch if he was able to pull that in. It's a real headsy play there by Brighton Williams. He's kind of holding off the defender with the offhand and then trying to bring it in with his strong hand. Nice play by Brighton, just unable to bring it in.
I like that play call. Take a shot, Rex, because you're 2nd and short there.
Right.
And you've dominated the trenches tonight. So 3rd and 2 at midfield, 7:04 with a 14-0 lead. The play clock's already down to 7. I think I'd take a timeout here. Down to 4, 3. Thatcher takes the snap, turnaround, handoff, and I don't think the Bobcats have gotten it. He loses a yard back to the 49. That was either Herman or Phillips again.
Yep.
So now 4th and 3. What do the Bobcats do? I think you go for it. Egbert comes in for Dean Phillips on 4th and 3 with a 14-0 lead at the 49. They hurry up.
When you said, what do you do, John, I was about to say you bring 12 back into the game.
Skyview trying to draw him off sides. Can't do it, and now the student section getting loud. Clock ticking to 6:25. Play clock at 8. Now they hurry up. Down to 5. Thatcher snaps it with 2. He's going to pass. He throws. It's complete. And trying to get the first down, and he does at the 45, and the ball came loose.
He fumbled that. That's a clean fumble, though.
I think they're calling him down.
If they call him down, that's a clean fumble.
They called him down. The official right there is already saying he's down.
If they say down, I'm here to tell you it's the wrong call.
Well, he called him down. The official already said it.
Once he says down, it's dead.
Well, now they're talking about it.
We're going to zoom in on this conference. What'd you see? Well, I saw the ball.
Well, the ball's at the 44. I thought his forward progress had already stopped. So we'll have to wait. It's either a fumble and Fremont recovered, or it's Skyview ball.
That could definitely change the call too if forward progress is stopped.
Well, and I thought that's what the official came in, but he didn't blow his whistle maybe. So 6-13 as they discuss this. This is a really big call. Skyview leads 14-0, but if Thatcher's clapping, so I think he thinks it's Skyview ball, but maybe he's just clapping to keep his guys' energy up.
Yeah, he might be doing that.
Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Adams Wealth Advisors. They power your video experience on Adams Wealth, and they give it to Fremont. So after all that discussion, they finally do decide it's on Fremont. So it was a fumble, and it will be Fremont football.
It's the right call.
Well,
it's unfortunate, but it is the right call.
You saw it, so as the sun is really peeking out under those clouds,
It's making it hard on the camera.
Yeah, even though there's shadows on the field. So great turnover by the Silver Wolves on 4th down and 3 for the Bobcats. They get it turned over, and they're at their own 44. Good field position, but they trail 14-0 with 6:13 left in the half. Parker takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Skyview's got him wrapped up, but then he broke free, and he's going to gain 4 yards up to the 48.
Well, you got 6 minutes left in the half, John. Defense has got to put a stop here. They want to go into halftime pitching a shutout here.
Well, both teams have caused turnovers, right?
Yeah.
Skyview got the interception, and Fremont got that fumble recovery right then. So 2nd down and 6 from the 48 as the Skyview sideline is looking right into the sun. 3 running backs in the backfield. Parker turns around, hands it off. Left side, he's got some room to the 50, the 45, and they're in Skyview territory with a 1st down up to the 44.
Really nice run there by Jace Hadley, the junior running back. Just turns on the jets, gets over that far sideline, and gets the 1st down.
And limping off the field was Easton Ballard.
That's a big deal.
He's on the bench right now. I don't know if it looked like he was kind of limping off, but hopefully he can return it. So at the 44 of Skyview, it's 1st and 10, same formation, 3 running backs in the backfield. They turn around, hand it off to the deep back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, pushes forward for about 2 more yards, and maybe a gain of 3 up to the 46 the 41 from the 44.
Slow, methodical drive out of the Silver Wolves here, but they're moving the ball.
Skyview looking for that stop. 2nd down and 7, 14-0 Skyview. This would be huge for Fremont to get on the board going into the wind to that south side of the field. So they've got 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 on each hip. Now 1 leaves the backfield. Turn around, hand it off. Left side, lot of room to the 35, the 30, down the sideline, 25-20. He goes right into the blocker to about the 13-yard line, and Skyview is on their heels as they get down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, they are on their heels, and I got to give Ramsey Vickers a little bit of credit there for assisting the blocker into the running back there. Way to hold your ground there.
So 1st and 10 at the 13 of Skyview, 4:11 here in the first half. Skyview leading 14-0, but Fremont knocking on the door. They got 3 receivers on this wide side. They pitch it out there. He's got room to the 15. Now he cuts it up inside to the 10. So a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Silver Wolves. They had more of a tight formation with the 3 receivers, more than Skyview likes to spread you out. This was more of in a bunch formation.
Yeah, and then they end up running that way, which makes it make a little more sense, too.
So clock down to 3:33, 14-0 Skyview. Silver Wolves at the 10 of Skyview, and it's 2nd and 7. Running back in behind the quarterback. Quarterback keeps it. He makes a couple man's miss. Now he's to the 5, and he's bowled over by 2 Bobcats. It's going to be 3rd and short at the 5-yard line. It's 3rd and 1.
Brevin Egbert with the tackle there.
Shifty play by Parker,
Yeah.
It's the sophomore.
It was a good read to keep that ball.
So on 3rd and 1, it's really like 3rd and 1.5, really. the way that the lines stretch. We'll call it 3rd and 2 from the 5. They line up. They've got that 3 running back formation in the backfield. They snap it. Coach was trying to get a timeout. Didn't get it up the field. First down. Well, maybe he didn't get it. No, I
think he's got it.
He's got it. Coach Howell tried to call a timeout, but the official's so close to the goal line, he couldn't. It's 4th. It was only a 1-yard gain.
It was so close, yeah. It's good stop there.
So 4th and about a yard for the Silver Wolves with 2:22 left. They're at the 4-yard line of Skyview. Coach Howell's on the field. Toph is yelling out to that defense to get a stop. And I think Fremont's going to let it run down and call a timeout to decide what they want to do, Rex, because they don't want to give the ball back to Skyview with too much time. Play clock is down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now a timeout with 1:56 on the clock. So a big 4th down and 1 from the 4-yard line. They got to get to the 3. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Cash Rich Credit Union. If you're a student in Logan, Cash, or Rich school districts, you can get paid for good grades. It's Logan Cash Rich Credit Union. Also, Great Basin Graphics, custom t-shirts, detailed embroidery, and graphic designs that will get your business noticed. It's Great Basin Graphics bringing you Skyview Sports here on the Fan. And Rex, on this 4th and 1, if you're Fremont, I think you just bring those 3 running backs and go to that formation. It's been the most positive for you offensively tonight.
It's been working, so don't get away from it. But if you're Skyview too, you got to watch the ball. This is a big play here. If they come up and give you a hard count and you jump, you're just handing them a fresh set of downs there.
So 14-0 Skyview, but knocking on the door. It's 4th and 1 at the 4-yard line of Skyview. Silverwolves can get a first down at the 3. They've got 3 receivers to the bunch formation on this right side in the shotgun formation for Parker with the running back behind him. That's Grange. Snap back. They pitch it out to Grange. Skyview, he's in for the end zone, and it's a holding. There's a flag. It's going to be a hold. It's not going to count. That's got to be a hold. There is a huge hole, and we know why. That's got to be a holding penalty.
Yeah, I think it's coming back, John. I think you're absolutely right.
It's a holding on Silverwolves. Take the TD off the board. They went to the exact play that we thought we thought they'd have 3 running backs.
We did, but they went with the bunch receiver. But man, what a heartbreaking play for the Silverwolves.
So instead of a touchdown, Rex, 10-yard penalty takes them back from the 4 to the 14. So it's 1st and 10, or 4th and 10. No, 4th and 11 it looks like at the 14. So now they bring out the field goal kicker. Skyview's running off players and running on players. They're going to attempt a 31-yard field goal from the right hash.
36.
The kicker, I don't have a 36, but snap back, hold down, kick on the way, and he missed it wide right, I think. Yep, wide right. So nothing out of that drive. It was such a good drive after the fumble by Skyview, but the holding penalty takes 6 off the board with 1:46 here in the first half, Rex.
Yeah, that's big time for Skyview and just absolutely crushing for Fremont. They put together one heck of a drive. Looks really nice. Good mix of run with a couple pass, and it falls just short for them.
So Skyview has 3 timeouts, but they've got to go 80 yards. They do have the wind with them, so if they can get in field goal range, they can attempt one here. But 1st and 10 from their own 20. Thatcher in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, to the east, 1 to the west, and it's Brighton Williams all alone, I believe. Egbert in the backfield, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws out there, complete to Zamel, and he's pushed out of bounds near the marker, but I'm sure he stepped out before then. They mark it up at the 27, so a 7-yard gain, and it stops the clock with 1:40.
And that's the important thing for Skyview there, John. You just said it stops the clock.
Zamel, he was just the outlet receiver. He pump faked to someone else, Thatcher did, and then he went to Zamel. So flip the formation to the other side now. You've got 3 receivers to the west, 1 to the right. To to the east. Thatcher, second down, kind of bobbles the snap. He's looking, plenty of time, launches it out there, and the receiver out there had stopped. So incomplete, and there's a penalty flag, and that's going to be a hold on Skyview, I think.
It was going for Zamel there. I don't know if Zamel kind of gave up on the route a little bit there, or what happened,
the receiver stopped, but it's holding on the Bobcats, so it's, instead of from the 27, it's a spot foul, so it's in the backfield, so it'll just go from the 27 back to the 17, because it's only a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Student section saying you can't do that.
I like the student section.
You gotta love that. So second down and long for the Bobcats, back at their own 14, 134 in the half. They lead 14-0.
We've been to a few stadiums this year, John, and this is the loudest one, I would say.
So Thatcher back in shotgun. He throws quickly, complete to Guthrie at the 25. He breaks 3 to the 30, pushed out of bounds, first down and more. What a job by Guthrie, the junior, as he goes from his own 17, let's see, up to it's a first down. They're going to mark it at the 32-yard line, so a 15-yard pass play for the first. Clock stopped with 1:28. Skyview still with the 3 timeouts and a 14-0 lead. Problem is, they are 68 yards from the end zone at their own 32. Kind of a diamond formation, 3 receivers to this side. Thatcher running for his life. Now he throws incomplete. He just threw it away. He hits Coach Walker in the leg. Coach Walker took it like a champ.
You know what I really like this year, John, is every time we've got a chance to talk to the offensive line, they've been mentioning Coach Walker and how valuable he is and how great it is to have him back.
Yeah, they really love Coach Walker. Coach Walker's a great dude. We get to talk to him always pregame.
Right.
You know, when we're setting up as well, it's always good to see Coach Walker and his experience playing at Utah State and then coaching that O-line. So second down and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 32. Back to passes, Thatcher. He throws, clean pocket, complete to Guthrie. Great hands catch as he walks out of bounds at the 39. Oh, well, I thought he got a little further, but they mark it at the 40. I thought he got up to the 41. They said he went out at the 40, so an 8-yard gain. So third down and 2, Bobcats at their own 40.
What I like is Carson Thatcher isn't pressing the issue, John. He's taking what the defense is giving him. He isn't trying to get everything in one play. He's just out here taking what they're giving him. That's really intelligent quarterback play.
So third down and 2, they turn around, hand off to Egbert. Huge hole to the 50, 45, stiff arm, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Skyview. A 60-yard touchdown run by Egbert, his third of the night with 1:08 in the half.
Wow, Brevin Egbert, you are something else, young man. This kid is just an absolute stud, John. Turns on the Jets, takes it to the house, 3 touchdowns tonight. What a play by Skyview.
So he's got touchdown runs of 24, 2, and 60, and he's for sure over 100 yards on the night as Kalebe comes in for the extra point. 20-0 Skyview, 1:08 here in the half. Snap is back, Castillo puts it down, Kalebe de Quadros, the extra point is good, and with 1:08, Skyview leads 21-0. And how big of a difference is that, Rex, when Fremont scored a touchdown to cut it to 14-6, but a holding penalty took it off the board, and then they missed a 34-yard field goal, and Skyview turns around and goes 80 yards, and it was capped off by that 60-yard touchdown with 1:08. And the funny thing is, on 3rd and 2, Rex, Skyview had thrown the ball so many times that when they went to the run, there was a huge hole up the middle.
Absolutely, and I love the play call, John, because it's so smart. You're in what would appear to be an obvious passing situation. You've only got about a minute and change left. You got to try to get down the field, and what do? You turn around and hand the ball off. Great play call. Well, we'll see. The wind has died down a little bit, John. It's not going to be quite the advantage that it was for Jamison.
So 21-0 Skyview, 1:08. Yeah, it really did die down. Jamison gets his foot into it, and it's going to go into the end zone. Well, what a first half for Brevin Egbert. He's had two games of over 200 yards rushing. Last week he had around 170 yards rushing.
Yeah, I think he's right at 175 or so.
So
Yeah.
3 games where he's had over 100 at least.
Well, last time we looked too, John, we were checking stats for leaders in the state, and he was right there on rushing touchdowns and rushing yards, regardless of classification.
That's right. So 1st and 10 with 2 timeouts. It's the Silverwolves. Parker in shotgun, sends a man in motion with twin receivers. He's going to turn around. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw out there. It's complete, but Skyview's right there and taking him down to the turf was number 21.
Yeah.
Alex
21.
Dickey, the junior for the Bobcats, wrapped him up and took him down after the yard gain. So clock ticking under a minute. 21-0 Skyview. They're lining up. They have 2 timeouts. They just haven't been able to go deep. Now they're going to huddle up. And Fremont will be kicking off to Skyview to start the second half. Play clock down to 13. They line up with those 3 running backs in the backfield. They turn around, they hand it off to the deep back. He's wrapped up and taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Trying to catch number 72 for the Bobcats right there.
Palmer?
Yep, the sophomore, 6'1", 222. No gain.
He's only a sophomore?
That's what the roster said.
No, that's right, because he played as a freshman a tiny bit last year too. That's wild. That's a big sophomore.
So clock ticking down. They're not going to run another play. They line up with 3 seconds. I don't know if they'll get it off. 1. They do get it off. Last play of the half. And back to pass is Parker, and he jumps over the line. He's to the 25, the 30, and he runs out of bounds. So he gains about 17 yards, Rex, but
Pads the stats a little bit. Man, what an athletic play by the quarterback to take off and make that hurdle there.
so Skyview, was going to lead 21-0 at the half. So we don't have halftime stats or the play-by-play, but we'll try to recap that first half as well as we can.
Just
but
by memory?
Yeah, we'll do. I'm not going to tell you how many plays each one is, but Skyview leading at the half, 21-0 over Fremont, and they'll receive the ball. We'll get you caught up on other games going on in Region 11 as we're going to take a break to catch our breath, get some water, and when we come back, we will kind of recap that first half as well as we can and get you caught up on those scores. That's all coming up next. Thanks so much for joining us here on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. 21-0 Skyview here at halftime of the Bobcats and the Silverwolves. The Silverwolves 0-3, Bobcats trying to go to 4-0 as they are 3-0 on the season. They've got 100 yards from Brevin Egbert already on the ground and 3 touchdowns. But we do have some score updates we'll get to right now from other games involving teams from the region. These scores brought to you by Logan Cash Rich Credit Union. It's Minico, or Mountain Crest is up at Minico, Idaho, in Rupert, Idaho, and Mountain Crest leads Minico 13-6 at the half. Also at the half at Crimson Field, it's Logan 7, Juan Diego nothing. Of course, Skyview leading 21-0 here. Ridgeline at the end of the first quarter was the score we had. It was Ridgeline 14, Cedar Valley. They're down there at Cedar Valley. They lead 14-7 there. One of their score, I wrote it down. I just got to find it. It's Morgan 7, Green Canyon 0, and that's in the second quarter as well.
That is such a good matchup.
It really is. And of course, next week, it really counts because the Bobcats start region play at home against the Ridgeline Riverhawks right out of the gate. The two top teams.
We get that game, too.
We do. So it will be Bobcats and the Riverhawks. I'm trying to see. And then after that, Skyview will be home the next 2 weeks. They face Ridgeline first, and then they will face the Bear River Bears in week 2 of region. So, but right out of the gates, the top 2 favorites. Ridgeline was picked first, Skyview second in the preseason coaches poll of Region 11. And of course, they were co-champions last year. Skyview defeated Ridgeline in that when they went head-to-head, but they both ended up with 1 loss in region play. So to start things off, Skyview kicked off to Fremont. Fremont went 3 and out the first time, punted it away, and then Skyview did a great job. Skyview did a terrific job on their first possession, and they scored with 3:33 in the first quarter. There a lot of plays there. 24-yard TD by Brevin Egbert to get things started for the Bobcats, 7-0. Then it was a pass downfield by Fremont on their next possession. Parker threw it deep. Easton Ballard from his safety position, he came over, tipped the ball up into the air, and Ramsey Vickers picked it off for the Bobcats, and they were in business again. And they got it into the second quarter, drove down all the way down to the near the goal line, and got a 2-yard run from Brevin Egbert with 10:07 in the half. Skyview led 14-0 at that point. Then it got interesting. Fremont got a fumble recovery when Skyview had gotten the ball back, Rex. They were going down on a 4th down play. They completed the pass, got the first down, got to about the 40-yard line, and it was a fumble. The refs didn't really signify what it was, but you clearly saw it on camera that it was a fumble.
Yeah, what I had done is I had zoomed in as the play was progressing, and I saw the ball pop out well before he went down, so it was the right call.
So they do get the fumble recovery there, and they drive all the way down, Rex, and then on a 4th and 1 at the 4-yard line, they run a play to the right side. Fremont does. They get into the end zone. They're all celebrating. It cut the lead of Skyview from 14-0 to 14-6, but there was a flag on the play. The official called holding. It set up for the ball back to the 14, so they attempted a 34-yard field goal from the right hash into the wind, but the wind didn't really affect it. The kicker got the kick. It went straight, and it went straight right and missed the goalpost, and it was just off. He pushed it to the right, so no good. Skyview takes over at the 20 with 3 timeouts, 1 minute and 8 seconds, I think, was on the clock. Let me double check. No, that's when they scored, so then it was a little more than that, but Skyview threw some pass plays, got out of bounds, a couple plays to Guthrie out there. They tried a long one to Zamel that was incomplete. And then it was a short play. Was it 4th and 2 or 3rd and 2? and Skyview handed the ball off from the 40-yard line, their own 40. They hand the ball off to Egbert. They had passed all down that drive from the 20 to the 40. Then they hand it off on third and short. Egbert runs right up the middle, huge hole. Then he got to about the 35-yard line of Fremont, stiff-armed a defender and just shoved him into the ground and ran all the way to the corner of the end zone, and Skyview scored to make it 21-0, a backbreaker for Fremont because they thought that he had cut it to 14-6, and instead it's 21-0 at the half.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a pretty clean game out of Skyview tonight too, John. We've been talking about that a lot lately, and with this 2023 Bobcats team, is that they're looking clean, they're looking crisp, and I mean, I'm trying to think if they even
the holding penalty.
They had the holding penalty.
That was it.
And outside of that, I mean, it's been a really well played game by the Skyview Bobcats.
Well, we do have one more score update before we take another break before halftime is over. Morgan scored another touchdown, and so Morgan leads Green Canyon 14-0. And if you can't, it doesn't surprise me. Morgan had a potent offense. Green Canyon's offense has struggled this season, but their defense has scored a lot for them, mostly in that Stansbury game. But that Green Canyon defense is for real. But Morgan leads 14-0 in the second quarter at Morgan High School. So again, it's 21-0 here. And they lead, Skyview does, the Fremont Silverwolves. So we're going to step aside, and we'll be back in a moment. So don't go away for too long here on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. And also, if you're streaming, that video experience powered by Adams Wealth Advisors on CashValleyDaily.com. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Fremont High School. John Newbold and Rowdy Rex Davis as we're here at Fremont. And it is Skyview 21 and Fremont 0. As we were trying to come up with a nickname for Rex. And I think Rowdy fits.
Yeah, it fits.
So Rowdy Rex Davis, Hurricane John Newbold here. 21-0 Skyview as both teams are coming out onto the field.
I had to get a shot of the birthday boy there. Hurricane John Newbold's birthday. If you're one of his 6 to 14 followers on Twitter, make sure you holler at him and tell him happy birthday.
I guarantee it was closer to 6 unless somehow I had an uptick.
You have those bots. You got those bots that are following you now too. But yeah, birthday boy, Hurricane John Newbold.
That's right.
I feel like we're always doing a game on your birthday.
We are, and they put out the red carpet for us, so they stuck us up on the roof during a tornado. So 21-0 Skyview. As a programming note here on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. It's one of the greatest times of the year, Rex. It's college football season. As we saw the Utes in state get the victory last night, 24-11 over the Florida Gators.
Sloppy game.
Yeah, sloppy game, but they got the victory. Tomorrow, you've got the Utah State Aggies at Iowa. That game is at 10 o'clock. You can catch the pregame on 610 KVNU with Al Lewis in his pregame, and then also we'll be broadcasting the game on KVNU tomorrow in the Cache Valley between the Aggies and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And then later that night on The Fan, on this station, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, at 5 o'clock for pregame, you can catch Penn State they're hosting West Virginia. I don't know what Penn State's ranked, but they're in the top 25, and they'll be hosting West Virginia. That's all part of the college football season that we'll be broadcasting on The Fan. We had the broadcast of the Utah game yesterday on The Fan, and then Saturday it will be Penn State and West Virginia, Rex, this Labor Day weekend. So great. Tomorrow's going to be great. All college football, all day.
It's the best time of the year.
It really is.
Like, people get excited for Christmas for some reason, man, but college football kickoff, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and then you've got NFL season starting next Thursday, and that only matters for the, I mean, if you're a football fan, but those who play fantasy football, I know you and I do. And I like your team, Rex, when you showed me.
That's because I got multiple Dolphins on it, man. That's all you care about is
this is
the
our
fact
year.
That there's Dolphins. Speaking of Dolphins, we got a Tua Tagovailoa jersey right here. I know you've been staring at that. You're going to offer that kid some money for that.
No, if it was Tyreek, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Tagovailoa doesn't do anything. He doesn't move the needle for me. So if we had Herbert, if the Dolphins would have just drafted Herbert like they should have instead of Tua, then they would have probably been closer to the Super Bowl. But that's a different story. We're talking about the Bobcats. Their last non-region game, they lead the Silver Wolves, the 6A Silver Wolves from Fremont, 21-0 here as we get underway to start the second half as we get closer to the kickoff. Again, Skyview will be at home to start region play the next 2 weeks. They'll host Ridgeline next week. And then the Bear River Bears. Bear River's destroying, they're mauling the Carbon Dinos. They're putting them back into extinction is what they're doing.
That's a shocker too, right?
Yeah, nobody knew that one was coming. They were only 66-point favorites by Perry's Power Guide. But the Riverhawks, they led 14-7 over Cedar Valley on the road. So there's the whistle going right to left. Here's the kickoff by the Silver Wolves. They try the onside kick. Skyview's there. That was number 15 that got it quickly, Jace Lillywhite. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And after a nice defensive game with 3 sacks last week, Lillywhite comes up with a big onside kick recovery. Way to be ready and on their toes for the Bobcats there.
You have to wonder with those onside kicks last week by Morgan, if maybe that's what they focused a little more on during special teams this week, possibly, because that time they fielded that onside kick extremely well.
Well, and you would think also that Fremont also saw the struggles and thought there might be something there.
So Skyview going left to right on your radio dial to the south. Handoff to Egbert at midfield, and he doesn't go anywhere. They maybe gave him a yard.
I'm telling you, John, this student section for Fremont is wild. I'm all about it.
They did give him a yard, and the wind died. It never stopped, but it died down a little bit to a breeze, but then it picked up right there. Two twin receivers on 2nd down and 9 from the Fremont 49. Here's the Bobcats. Twin receivers, Egbert in the backfield with Thatcher. 21-0, start of the second half, Skyview leads. Thatcher back to pass, he throws complete to Carver Ballard. He breaks one tackle, then he's pushed out of bounds. Good job by Carver Ballard to just kind of keep those legs churning and knock off one defender and then gain another yard after the hit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, John. Good hands catch and then kept a really strong base to shake that tackle.
Only about 4 yards, so it brings up 3rd and 3 from the 43-yard line. Thatcher has 3 receivers. The ball's on the right hash. He has 3 receivers to the east side of the field, the wide side, and down here all alone. I can't see who it is, but they've got 1 receiver down here all alone. Vickers. Snap back to Thatcher. Handoff to Egbert left side. He's got the first down and more. He's still going. He's up to the 35 as he was very patient waiting for a hole to open up.
Yeah, he was. And what he did was he got right behind Landon Elsner, the 6', 225-pound senior offensive lineman, just got right behind him and let the big fella lead him down the field.
8-yard gain to the 35. We'll have a short post-game show as we have a whole bunch of stuff to haul down this press box. And it's a double-decker press box.
This is really a triple-decker, I would say.
Yeah, it is huge. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for the Bobcats. Samuel in there at tight. Snap back, Thatcher back to throw, clean pocket. He throws wide out there. It's complete on the far side to the 28. I don't even know who that is.
I think it's Ramsey Vickers. Yeah.
Okay, it was on the far side of the field, and now that it's dark and the lights have come on,
yeah, getting a little harder.
When it's on the east side of that football field, I can't see those blue numbers. So 21-0 Skyview. Clock running to 10:13 left in the 3rd quarter here. 2nd down at about 7 or 6 for the Bobcats. We're going to call it 2nd and 4 at the 29. It was a 6-yard play. That's what I meant. That's not what I said. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Play clock down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. Snap back to Thatcher. He's going to throw. He's looking for the end zone. He got a man out there. Great defense. Was he trying to hit Guthrie out there?
Yeah, it was Guthrie, and 25 for Fremont was in coverage there. Nice play there by him to go knock that away because Guthrie is a big target, John. And he just went up there, high-pointed the ball, and punched it out of his hands. Nice play there by the Silver Wolves defender.
Orion Patton, the junior. It was junior on junior crime that time, knocking it free.
Yeah, Liam Guthrie listed at 6'3".
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Bobcats. They line up quickly, twin receivers to each side. Now Zamel moves in. No, that's Williams in motion to the right side. They hand off to Egbert. He bounces off 1 tackler, and then he's snowed under. He gained about 1, maybe 2. It's going to bring up 4th down. And Skyview, if they attempt this field goal, will be over 40 yards. I think they'll go for it.
Yeah, I think where the wind just started going again, John, I don't think they're going to. You're kind of in no man's land, so might as well go for it.
Clock ticking under 10 minutes down to 9:22. We've got a couple of score updates. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They try to draw the Silver Wolves off sides. They don't. So 4th and about 3. They're at the 28-yard line of the Silver Wolves. Play clock down to 4. Timeout Bobcats, which is nice for us because we can get these scores in. With 9:03 in the 3rd quarter, Skyview leading 21-0. Well, the Bobcats discuss what they're going to run. Again, stay tuned. We'll have our Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game. Locations in Smithfield, Logan, and South Logan. Have you tried the amazing breakfast sandwiches at the South Logan and Smithfield locations?
I have.
You have?
I have.
Did you love it?
They're delicious.
I haven't tried them, but they sound delicious, and I need to get down there. I'm not awake that early.
Get you a ham and Swiss on Asiago from the Old Gristmill. You can't beat it.
So we do have some score updates. Morgan leads Green Canyon 14-6. Green Canyon got the TD, but they missed the PAT with 10 seconds in the half. Minico scored again in the third quarter. It's Mountain Crest 13, Minico 12, and Ridgeline running away with Cedar Valley 35-7. Fourth down and 3 from the 28 of Silverwolves. Here's the Bobcats. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Thatcher back to pass. Setting up the screen. They throw it complete to Egbert. Breaks 1 tackle, goes for the... Did he step out? Yes, first down. He went down that east sideline, Rex, and I wasn't sure if he got knocked out early or not, but he got the first.
Yeah, he was able to kind of tiptoe, keep his balance there, and I love that play call. Set up the screen. It's the perfect time to call the screen because you're letting the defensive line just come free on the blitz, and then you throw it right over the top of them.
Well, they didn't set up the middle screen like they did before. That time was to the outside.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 Bobcats at the 24. They pitch it out to Egbert left side, and he spins off a defender as he should have been hit at the line of scrimmage, but he just spun off that linebacker that was darting through, and he got up to the 20. So a 4-yard gain, I believe, on first down.
They're going to bring Dean Phillips in to spell Egbert after that big hit on that play.
So second down for the Bobcats, and 2nd and 6 at the 20 of Fremont. 21-0 Skyview, 8:40 in the third. 3 receivers to the right. Snap back. They up the middle. There's Phillips for the first down, I believe, or near it, as he got tripped up at the 15 and just kind of lunged forward. So they give it to him. So from the 24, he got up to the 13, an 11-yard gain by Phillips up the middle.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, John, but that's so crucial for the Bobcats to be able to give
Brevin
Egbert the
it's just a change
there.
of pace, too.
And just give him a little break. He's such a workhorse. Give him a little break. Let Dean go in, do some hard work here in between the tackles.
1st and 10 Bobcats at the 13 of Fremont. Fake the handoff, roll out to the right. He throws back to the left. Touchdown Skyview. What a play call. They rolled out to the right and they threw back to the left. Is that Carver Ballard?
Yeah.
So from 13 yards out, Thatcher gets his first throwing touchdown of the night. It's Thatcher to Ballard from 13 yards out, and Skyview extends the lead 27-0 with 8:05 here in the third.
Nice pitch and catch there from Thatcher to Ballard. And like you said, John, the play is set up to go to the right and then throw back to the left. We're seeing a really well-called game here tonight from Brant Reese.
So on for the extra point is Calebe de Cuadros. I believe that's Max Castillo, number 5, still holding.
Yeah.
Snap back, Castillo gets it down, kick is on the way, and it's good by Calebe, and Skyview has that 28-0 lead with 8:05 remaining in the third quarter. We'll take a short break and be back right after this. Rowdy Rex Davis on the tunes and the camera and the broadcast, doing everything tonight. It's 28-0 Skyview over Fremont as Skyview scores from 13 yards out. The kickoff by Jamison is short at the 16-yard lines to the 20, 25. Fremont's got a big hole on the left side and then tackled near the 40. That's Hadley. It's a good return from the 16 to about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was. Maybe that'll spark a little life into the Silverback offense, or Silver Wolf offense. I'm really scattered today, Jonathan.
Well, I know you're fighting a cold,
Yeah.
and it's cold up here now that the shadows have really come down, but it's 28-0 Skyview, 7:58 in the third. It's Parker at quarterback with those 3 running backs back there. They turn around, he fakes the handoff, he's looking to throw, he's looking, throws wide open at the 30-yard line to the 25, the 20, and Skyview saves a touchdown there, a broken coverage defensively.
Absolutely broken coverage there. Brevin Egbert comes up with the touchdown-saving tackle, but not until after Brick Grange was able to slip into the secondary there and come up with a big gain.
About a 46-yard pass play. Empty backfield this time. They throw and, incomplete. And if it was on target, it was far wide on the outside. If it was on target, that could have been a pick 6.
Yeah, Jace Favero was over there in coverage on the play.
So 28-0 Skyview. It'll be 2nd and 10, but we just got an update. So up in Minico, up in Rupert, Idaho, Mountain Crest game, it's a 1-point game in the 3rd quarter, and they're in a lightning delay. Here it's 28-0, 3rd quarter. They turn around, they hand it off on 2nd and 10, and nothing doing that time for the Silver Wolves. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 from about the 19 of Skyview.
Trying to see who made the tackle there. It was Jace Lillywhite, met him there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Skyview rotating a lot of people. I mean, Fremont's taking their time, but Skyview's so used to the up-tempo offenses that they face.
That's a great point.
They're just launching people off. So 3rd and 9 from the 19-yard line of Skyview. 28-0 Skyview leads. Twin receivers to each side for Parker, the quarterback. Sends a man in motion. Now he's back to pass. He's going to run up the middle. He's got a lot of room to the 15, to the 10. He's going to be short of the first down marker. He got to the 11. It's going to bring 4th and 1 up. They needed to get to the 10-yard line, I believe, and he got to the 11.
That's a really heads-up play there by the quarterback to break that thing and get over there into the open part of the field. Alex Dickey with another nice tackle.
For a sophomore even. It was. He recognized that it was man, and he just took off.
This can pay off in a few years.
4th and 1 from the Skyview 11. They've got those 3 running backs back there. They take it. They pitch it out to the left side. That got up the first down up to the 7-yard line. Great play call.
Ramsey Vickers comes up and makes that tackle, and like you say, John, good play call. Nice little pitch out play. It kind of puts your running back in a corner, kind of in an isolation situation there. Fortunately for Skyview, that corner was Ramsey Vickers, so he's able to come and make the play, but good play there by the Silver Wolves. Looking good on this drive.
Clock down to 6:14. They had the big pass play. It's 1st and goal at the Skyview 6. They've still got the 3 running backs back there. Direct snap to the deep back, and
not intentionally though.
You don't think so?
It was not.
Okay, I thought it was. The quarterback sold it for me up here. I thought Parker was really selling that.
Well, if it was intentional, it skipped to him.
Okay. Well, it was a bad snap then. We'll go with that. And it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 6, no gain. Clock down to 5:45. 28-0 Skyview leading. Silver Wolves knocking on the door. 2 receivers to each side. Running back Grange is behind Parker. Grange goes out of the backfield now in motion. Back to passes Parker. He throws out to Grange, wide open at the 5. Touchdown! Skyview didn't get out there quick enough, and from 6 yards out, Fremont is on the board, 28-6.
Yeah, it was a really good play. I like the design of that. They send, excuse me, John. They send the running back Brick Grange in motion, and Skyview's a little unaccounted for there. Carver Ballard ends up coming over a little late, but too little too late there as they give up the shutout here and make it a 28-6 game.
So on for the extra point is the kicker for Fremont. He missed a field goal. Skyview jumps off sides, so they'll maybe think about going for 2 here. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Got 87 on yours, Cam Graves. Another sophomore for Fremont.
Yeah, Fremont, they're 0-3, but a lot of experience.
Yeah, it's a 6A school, and they're playing a ton of sophomores.
So here we go, waiting for the snap as it went half the distance to the goal line. Snap is back, hold is down, kick on the way, looks good, and it is. So with 5:27 in the 3rd quarter, it's Skyview 28 and Fremont 7. We're going to take a short break and be back right after this on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. The shutout's over after a 6-yard pass play by Fremont to cut into that Skyview lead. It's 28-7, third quarter, 5:27 remaining in the third. There's the kick. They put it clear up in the air. It's returnable at the 12 to the 15. Middle return, a lot of room, and then he runs into his blockers, and then a flag comes out. And I think the other official just wanted to be a part of the game, and so he threw his flag because there's no way there was two different holdings, but
right in the same spot.
Yeah, so they got up to the 30, but it's going to be coming back.
Well, if you're Skyview now, you're up 28-7, but you're not content, right, John? You're going to keep trying to run the ball mostly down the field, keep that clock ticking, and try to get this game over with. But you can't be content. You can't fall back and just say, "Oh, we're okay now." This is a 6A school you're playing. You never know what they're capable of.
And there's the student section. They can't do that. Skyview, they have been playing a pretty clean game. That's their second hold of the night. That's basically been the only penalties they've had. So the ball goes right back to the 20-yard line. 3 receivers to one side. They've got a tight end inside. Handoff up the middle is Egbert, I believe, up to the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 if that's Egbert.
Yeah, it is.
So on 1st and 10, the Bobcats went right up the middle with Egbert, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 4, and then Egbert, I believe, just came out.
Yeah, Dean Phillips in for him. Liam Guthrie coming in as well.
So you've got 3 receivers. Guthrie's the lone receiver on the west side. 3 receivers to the left, to the east. Clock ticking under 5 minutes here in the third. 28-7 Skyview. They're at their own 26-yard line. Play clock down to 9. The play clocks are in the end zone, or in the back of the end zone for each team to see clearly. Back to pass is Thatcher. He's looking, he throws. In miscommunication there as the receiver I don't know, it looked like a miscommunication, or maybe Thatcher just overthrew it, but it's incomplete, so we'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, he might have just airmailed it there. He was trying to get Brighton Williams on the far sideline, just unable to connect with him over there.
Yeah, he just ran a corner route to the sideline and just overthrew him. So it'll be interesting to see what Skyview does here. Is that Egbert coming back in for Dean Phillips on this 3rd down play? We're going to call it 3rd and 4 at the 26-yard line of Skyview. So got Guthrie all alone on this side of the field. 3 receivers the other side. Back to pass is Thatcher. He throws in the middle, complete across the 30. Perfect route. That's just a great route. Is that Brighton Williams?
Yeah, Brighton Williams right at the sticks.
Yeah, just a little curl route. You need 4 yards. He goes 5 yards to the 31, catches it, and just tucks down at the 31 so he doesn't get pushed back.
Well, the thing that always drives you nuts as a football fan is when you see wide receivers or offensive play callers call a play that's 1 yard short of the first down, 2 yards short of the first down. This one just beyond it, gets him the first down, able to keep the drive alive.
You don't know how big or how much talent that takes to do it, because sometimes receivers do run short. He knew where the sticks were and he got it. So 1st and 10, they hand it off up the middle, just churns those legs, and he gets about 4 yards. Egbert from the 31, so they actually, he got 4 yards to the 35, so it'll be 2nd and 6 from their own 35, clock still ticking.
Dean Phillips.
They're
going to switch Hans Herman in now, though.
So Hans Herman came in. So basically, Egbert's done the load, but then you've had Phillips and Herman in there as well. 2nd and 6 from the 35. Turnaround, handoff to Herman, left side. He broke through the initial line of scrimmage, and then he just got pushed back. So they give him 2 yards. It's going to bring up about 3rd and about 4.
Playbook's kind of wide open right now, too. If you, you got 12 back in the game. Brevin Egbert's back, so playbook's wide open.
So at the 37-yard line, 3rd down and 4, under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 28-7 Skyview. 3 receivers to one side, 1 receiver to the east. Running back in the backfield. Thatcher back to pass. Little swing pass. Oh, he had him, and look, Thatcher just went to his helmet like he's like, darn it, I missed it, because he threw it out too far in front.
Well, and there was a lot of turf there too, John. If he's able to catch that, he without question has the first down, and then more.
So Skyview here is going to be punting away, and Fremont, although they gave up some yards on that drive, Rex, they did a good job of getting Skyview off the field. So Skyview will be punting here to Fremont, and I tell you what, even though Skyview leads 28-7 with 2:43 in the third, Fremont's got some momentum here if they can get a good return.
Momentum and a lot of football left to go.
They'll have decent field possession. Oh, they fake it. Skyview fakes it. It's complete to the 50, the 45. Whoa! They snapped it back to the blocker.
Yeah, to the up man.
And the up man, I don't know who it was, threw it for a first down.
I think it was Carver Ballard. I think it was Carver Ballard. I
That
want to
caught
say
the ball.
No, it was Dean
he
Phillips.
threw it.
Dean Phillips caught it.
Okay.
And I want to say it was Carver Ballard that made the throw.
Wow, what a play.
Wow,
So
caught the entire stadium off guard.
And you can hear
I don't think I was even like remotely in the frame on that with the camera.
Coach Hal up here, Tophe's brother, is excited about that play. They get the first down into Fremont territory on the fake punt. They throw on first down, and I think he's out of bounds. They're going to count it, though.
Yeah, that's a catch.
So he gets his
Brighton
foot down.
Williams again.
So Williams, and the ball was on that fake punt, got up to the 44-yard line of Fremont. Wow, that caught me off guard. And then from the 44, a 9-yard pass play to the 35, and it's 2nd and 1 at the Fremont 35. Holy cow, just when you thought Fremont had some momentum.
That was a crazy play call there.
So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now Guthrie comes in motion, left to right, goes clear across the formation. Handoff to the running back, that's Phillips, and he's knocked backwards for the loss.
They just got snowed under on that play. I'm still in shock over the fake punt.
Well, it caught me off guard. They just snapped it back to that up back, and then he threw a dime.
Yeah, that could be a Napa Auto Parts best part of the game.
Well, it for sure is the Napa Auto Parts best part of the game, because it was 4th down and 3, and you were giving the ball back to...
Well, and you were just talking, too, how big that was for Fremont. It seemed like the momentum was kind of shifting towards them.
So the line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line of Fremont. Skyview's got to get to the 34. Play clock on 3rd down is down to 2. They need a timeout, and they call it with 1 second on the clock. It'll be Skyview's 2nd timeout of the half, according to the scoreboard. So we'll get you some score updates as the wind kind of dies down, but every time I say that, then I make it come right back up. But Les Olson Company, get your free network assessment at lesolson.com, bringing you this game on 1390 AM, 106.9 FM, The Fan. And Juan Diego's tied it up, a 3-yard TD run at Crimson Field, and it's the Logan Grizzlies and the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle tied up at 7. Mountain Crest was leading with 8:52 in the third quarter. They were leading Minico, Idaho up in Rupert in a lightning delay in the third. But here we are on this 3rd down and 3 here for the Bobcats. From the 37, there's 3 receivers to the right. Thatcher back to pass. He's going to roll to the right. He throws out there. Carver Ballard goes to the ground. He's got the first down. He's caught it. And Liam Guthrie on the far side of the field, Rex, I was watching him because I thought Thatcher would go back to the left. He had burnt his DB. He was 10 yards in front of him, but they get the first down. The pass to Carver Ballard to the 31, and a first down for the Bobcats. They keep the drive alive and the clock running at 1:02.
Well, you better believe Brant Reese saw that too, so he may go back to that.
3 receivers to the east, 1 to the right. Herman in the backfield, gets the handoff on first down, chugs forward, he stretches forward, but someone just grabbed his ankle because you could see his whole body go forward, but then just stop.
Yeah, it kind of worried me when he swung the ball out. I actually thought the ball was coming out, but it was him just diving forward.
Again, Rowdy Rex Davis on the camera for us tonight, and also doing a good job playing DJ.
Getting a little too rowdy sometimes. I end up missing the play.
Well, that's what happens when you put us on top of the party deck here. 2nd down for the Bobcats, 2nd and 8. Turn around, fake the handoff. Thatcher rolls, throwing back. He's wide open, complete to Brighton Williams at the 15, the 10, and he gets trucked right there, right into a stone wall. Oh, they actually said he stepped out at the 15, so that will stop the clock with 11 seconds.
Wow, that's I mean, we don't have the ability of instant replay, but that would have been a fun one to go back and watch.
I mean, the official was right there. He's got a better angle, but Brighton Williams was wide open on a wheel route. So from the 14-yard line, it's Skyview 1st and 10, and they'll have to run one more play unless it's incomplete, because it's at the 14-yard line of the Silver Wolves. Skyview leading it here in the third quarter, 28-7 with 11 seconds. 3 receivers to the east. Zamel, tight end, up on the line, and the running back in the backfield. They hand it off. That's Phillips. Phillips gets hit from behind. He just turns forward, and that pile pushes forward from the 14 to about the 10. No, they're going to mark it at the 11. A 3-yard gain, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Skyview will be sitting at 2nd and about 7 at the 11-yard line of the Silver Wolves on the north side of the football field. When we come back, it's the end of 3. It's Skyview 28, Fremont 7. We'll step aside for a short break and be back right after this on The Fan. Well, Skyview starting this fourth quarter, and the thing that's crumbling is the Fremont defensive line, as the Bobcats offensive line has owned the trenches tonight. Skyview leading 28-7 here. Ozzy Osbourne told us. I don't know if that really applied, Rex, but the words were there.
No,
so
you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Empty backfield on 2nd down and 3.
It's a true art, John.
From the 11-yard line of the Silver Wolves. Thatcher back to pass. Looking across the middle. Oh no, he threw it outside. Wide open touchdown. 11 yards out. That's
Brighton Williams.
Brian Williams. I thought he was going across the middle. He faked me out, and all alone in the corner of the end zone on the west side was Brighton Williams. His second TD pass tonight. It's from 11 yards out for the Bobcats.
And Fremont's had a couple of things that have just absolutely swayed this game. And that fake punt, that falls into that category for sure. Plebe de Quadros out, punches it through for the extra point.
So we'll keep it here. Skyview extends the lead, 35-7 with 6 seconds into this fourth quarter. 11:54 remaining. Skyview leads on that 11-yard TD to Williams, his first touchdown tonight. If you're just joining us, Skyview leading Fremont 35-7. Skyview has scored on a 24-yard TD run by Egbert, a 2-yard TD run by Egbert, a 60-yard TD run by Egbert, and 13-yard TD pass from Thatcher to Ballard, and then this 11-yard TD pass from Thatcher to Williams. And Fremont scored on a 6-yard TD pass, and the score is 35-7 now, Skyview. I'd say maybe our old gristmill bread and butter play of the game was that fake punt, but I didn't see who it was, so I don't want to, talk about it because we couldn't tell. It happened so quick. So we'll announce that after the game. We'll have a short post game too, as Jamison gets his foot into it. It's deep and it's caught 1 yard into the end zone. So Skyview leads 35-7 with 11:54 left. Again, Skyview will be at home the next 2 weeks to start region play. Ridgeline next week, and then Bear River the week after that. Score update brought to you by DD Auto and Salvage. It's Logan 14, Juan Diego 7 with 10:30 left in that game. That Mountain Crest game up in Rupert, Idaho against Minico, it's 13-12 Mountain Crest, but they were in the third quarter with about 8 minutes in, and they're in a long lightning delay there. So 2 running backs in the backfield for Fremont. from their own 20. One of them goes out of the backfield in motion. Back to pass. Parker, the blitz is on. He lets it go, and he's hit from behind, incomplete, as Parker got leveled from behind.
Good pressure there by Jace Lillywhite on the play.
Lillywhite showed his wills that time because he chased Parker down because Parker rolled out to the right side and Jace lined up clear on that other side of the field.
Jace came off the edge so fast that I took the risk and just zoomed in hard on the play there. And, man, great pressure off the edge by Lillywhite, showing us why he had 3 sacks last week.
And that forced fumble. So twin receivers on 2nd and 10 from their own 20 here in the fourth quarter. Parker back to pass. He's looking. Now he has to pull it down, and he's tackled. And that's going to be behind the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. So who?
Seth Toulson.
Seth Toulson will get credited for a sack because that's a 1-yard loss. Parker's pump faked. He didn't see anyone open but the middle of the field, so he tried to take off, but as you mentioned, Toulson there for the sack.
Yeah, I think Parker made the right decision too. The really tight coverage downfield, and there was plenty of turf in front of him there, but Toulson ends up grabbing him by the ankles there and bringing him down. 35-7 Skyview, 11:15 left in the game. 3rd down and 11 for the Silver Wolves from their own 19. Parker back to pass. He's going to roll out to the left. Now he throws back. Pressure in his face. They set up the screen. It's complete to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Gets a block. Oh, and he's tripped up. What a tackle across the Skyview territory. That is Vickers, I believe. Yeah, Vickers had the touchdown saving tackle there.
What a play.
Wow, big play for Fremont.
Yeah, from the 20 or the 19 all the way, they hurry up. Empty backfield. Skyview only rushes 3. The throw by Parker incomplete on 1st and 10 to stop the clock with 10:48. That's the one thing. Skyview hasn't given up a lot of yards, but they've had Fremont has had 2 major plays of over 40 yards or over 30 yards that have got them, some respectable field position. They just can't cash in.
Yeah, it was a really good play too, and any chance you get for Fremont to get the ball in Brig Grange's hands, you got to take advantage of that because he shows the Jets right there. So Fremont 0-3 on the season. They trail 35-7. Skyview with the lead, 10:48 in the game on 2nd and 10. Blitz is on. Parker rolls out to the left side, still looking. Now he's going to run. He tucks it. He dodges their defender and slides to not take a hit. Smart play. Smart play. I mean, he could have maybe got an extra yard, but he wisely goes down, slides. This is a really good sophomore quarterback.
And they hurry up to the line again. Empty backfield for Parker. On 1st and 10, he's going to run up the middle again. Now he's going to break outside, and Skyview's right there, and he's tackled down as he got across the 25 to the 24, so he still gained about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I think it was just a little gas, though, from the previous play. He didn't look quite as fast on that play, but it's still a nice positive gain there for Parker.
Well, he just makes the right reads, it seems like.
Right, yeah. And if you're seeing the field that well as a sophomore, man, the future's super bright for you.
So they're at the Skyview 24. Twin receivers to each side. Running back in the backfield is Grange behind Parker. Sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. Parker back to pass. The blitz is on. He gets hit as he throws for the end zone and picked off in the end zone. And there comes a flag. So they bail him out. They're going to call pass interference, but Skyview had picked it off in the end zone.
It was Jace Favero.
Well, Jace won't get the credit for the interception because the official threw the flag for a pass interference. He was double coverage. I didn't see. I mean, it's in the shadows of the end zone, so it's hard to tell from here.
It was tough even on the camera.
So pass interference on Skyview. It will take away that Jace Favero interception. 9:44 left in the game, 35-7 Skyview. Coach Hal's still on the field, kind of like, really?
He's not feeling that call.
Oh, well, so the ball gets placed at the 12-yard line of Skyview, 1st and 12 for the Silver Wolves. Got a diamond formation of receivers on the left side for Parker. Back to pass on 1st and 10. The blitz is on. He throws it up for grabs, incomplete. It was out of play. They did catch it, but it was out of play, so incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10. That time Lillywhite, he didn't come downhill.
Yeah.
He stayed in his lane, and when Parker rolled out, he had a run right at him.
That was the Parker to Parker connection there. Slade the quarterback, Jax the receiver on the play.
9:38 left in the game, 35-7 Skyview over Fremont. They have the ball at the Skyview 12, 2nd and 10. They bring in those 3 running backs. They pitch it out. That play that's worked. Skyview strings that out. Wow, what a play there by the big number 72 for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Satili Palmer showed really good lateral quickness there for a defensive lineman. Sheds the block and then meets the ball carrier right there at the line of
And I
scrimmage.
think that was no gain, Rex. They might give him a no gain at the 12. That play has worked all night.
Yeah.
And Palmer snipped it out. So 3rd and 10 for the Silver Wolves from the Skyview 12. Trying to keep him out of the end zone. They've been there once. 35-7 Skyview. Play clock out of 10. 2 receivers to each side. Running back in the backfield, Grange. Grange goes out of the backfield now. Back to passes Parker. He pump faked left. Now he's coming back right. There's a holding call. He throws it out of the end zone as he's hit and taken down. Who is that? Lindley? Nope. That was Hellstern. But there's a holding penalty anyways, I think. And if you're Skyview, I think you decline this, but let's see what they do.
Yep, they are declining it.
Okay, so he threw it out of the back of the end zone. So 4th and 10 from the 12 of Skyview with 8:47 left. Zone incomplete. Nobody had a chance at that one as that one goes out of the end zone. Skyview holds. Unless there's a flag.
Yeah, there was some cheering, so.
So there is a flag down. They're talking about it. I don't see the flag, but
Offensive pass interference? Oh, okay. Defensive pass interference.
yeah, and in high school, it doesn't need to be catchable. That's the thing. I didn't think it was pass interference, so it must have happened somewhere else, but it doesn't need to be catchable. So that should be half the distance from the 12 to the 6. It does, but it still brings up 4th down and short now. The first down is the 3, so it's 4th and 3, I believe. 4th and 4. I think it's now a timeout by Skyview. I think if I'm Coach Hal, I want an explanation, first of all. But he wants to gather the troops. Maybe that's all he's doing. So that's what he's going to do. Let's see if we've got any score updates with 8:42 remaining in this game. 35-7 Skyview. John Newbold, Rowdy Rex Davis. We're not going to let that one go away. So the last score we had, Ridgeline 35, Cedar Valley 7. So that, if these scores hold, Rex, Skyview and Ridgeline, it sets up for a big matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week in Smithfield.
I mean, it was going to be a big matchup no matter what when you're talking the co-region champs of the prior year, but man, that's going to be good stuff. Ridgeline, Riverhawks, Skyview Bobcats.
Well, I did get a message, Rex, about that fake punt.
Okay.
It was Chance Wilson that threw that fake
that
punt.
Makes way more sense, doesn't it?
Well, it does because he played quarterback at the JV level.
Right, yeah. And we've seen Chance, and he just happens to be on the screen right now, too. But, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, and especially because we've seen him play up back, too, so that definitely makes sense.
Here we go. From the the 6-yard line, it's 4th down and about 3 for Silver Wolves at the Skyview 6. Parker in shotgun. Takes it. He's going to look, and the blitz is on. He's sacked! Skyview holds anyways. Is it Hans Herman?
Vickers.
Vickers was there on the blitz, on the corner blitz, and the Parker went down out of the timeout as Coach Hal called that timeout, his last timeout of the game.
What a time to call a corner blitz, too.
Yeah, and Vickers off the side. Hans Herman was back there also, and Skyview holds, even though they gave up that pass interference that was half the distance from the 12 to the 6, and Skyview will take over with a 35-7 lead at their own 16.
So they are going to do what I was hoping they'd do. They're going to keep Brevin Egbert on the sideline.
And that's Phillips in the backfield then. So 2 receivers stacked on the far side of the field. The linebacker, a tight end in there. They hand it off to Phillips. He goes up the middle. And Skyview is going to get out from the 16 to the 21. A 5-yard gain. He'll bring up 2nd and 5 as Skyview, I assume, will just kind of keep this on the ground and try to grind out a drive and bleed this clock down.
Yeah, and they're going heavy run formation with 2 tight ends in Zammel and Hellstern in there.
And just have the 2 wide receivers. This time they have single receivers to each side, but like you mentioned, the 2 tight ends in there and Phillips in the backfield. 2nd and 5 from the 21. Turnaround, handoff to Phillips up the middle. He grinds forward. He's a yard shy of the first. Oh, wait, they might give him the first. He got across the 35 to the 36. So it's the 26. That should be a first down.
Yeah, they're moving the chains.
All right, so with 7:50, that clock will keep going here in the game. 35-7 Skyview at the 26-yard line. As Phillips had a carry of 5 and 5. So 1st and 10, Skyview from their own 26. Play clock at 11. They snap it up to Phillips. He's hit in the backfield, but he pushes forward.
Different back.
Well, it's usually been Herman if it's not Phillips. We'll see out the bottom of that pile up to the 20.
It's 25.
No, it's not. It's not. So they said it's Dylan Bird, the junior. They said Jace Lillywhite, but it wasn't Jace Lillywhite.
Their spotter's not as good as yours.
Well, I knew that because nobody has Hawkeye like you. Dylan Bird on the run that time from 4 yards up to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 6. I'm sure they told Thatcher to bleed that play clock down. Hand off to Bird, big hole! 40-yard line, he breaks a tackle, the 45. He wasn't going to be denied, he got up to the 46. So Bird from the 30 to the 46, a 16-yard run. Sorry, Rex.
You love to see that. Dylan Bird checks into the game and just makes a direct impact right away carrying the ball.
Yeah, the junior Dylan Bird, he saw that big hole, and he's a little shifty back, and he's sure turned on the Jets as Egbert's back into the game, isn't he? Or
22.
22, that's Phillips. So twin receivers to each side on 1st and 10 from the 46 as Bryton Williams just took off downfield.
Xander Stokes.
Oh, Xander Stokes.
We're going all running backs.
Okay,
if you got an RB by your name, you're getting a carry right now.
Xander Stokes is in there. And of course, his brothers Tanner and also I can't remember his other brother's name all of a sudden, but Tanner Stokes was in there, and then his dad is the running back coach, Cody Stokes, 1994 graduate of Skyview, is on the coaching staff.
You're such a dweeb, like who knows that?
Well, he graduated with me.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So it was a false start. They never marked off the yardage. Now wait a second though. If it's a fault, oh, he went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, the line of scrimmage, yeah, so it'll be 1st and 15 at the Skyview 41. So Stokes is in there, Xander Stokes. Two receivers to each side. Stokes in the backfield on the right hip of Thatcher. Takes a snap, handoff to Xander. He just puts his head down and kind of churns forward, and
that's so hard to run against too, because Xander checks into the game and there is no question that he's getting the ball. All 11 Silver Wolves know that 22's getting the ball. Gonna bring Dean Phillips back in.
So Skyview is 2nd down and about 13 from their own 43, but the clock running at 5:37. They lead 35-7.
So they got Vickers and Phillips in the backfield.
So 2 running backs, 1 on each hip. They just switched sides of Thatcher. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Turnaround, handoff. Up the middle, big hole to the 50. Breaks free to the 45. Is 16?
Phillips.
That's Phillips? Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's hard because they're switching them up on us so much. Big run there, though, by Dean Phillips. And you got to love this if you're Skyview. You take your stud workhorse and Brevin Egbert out of the game, and the other dudes come in and just keep working hard and keep running the ball down the field.
So they're up to the 44-yard line of the Silver Wolves. 35-7 Skyview. Clock under 5 minutes, and it's running. Play clock in the end zone is at 9. Phillips in the backfield. Takes it, turn around, handoff to Phillips. He finds a hole to the 40, the 35, the 30. Bowls through 2 defenders for a first down. So from the 44 to the 31, a 13-yard gain for the first down.
Jeez. This offensive line, and not to discredit these running backs, but this offensive line, John, they are something else. This is one of the better offensive lines we've seen.
Yeah.
We've been a part of some real good Skyview teams.
Probably not since the state championship games, but I mean, when you've got over 200 yards each game and then 170 the next game in game 3, and we don't know, but they're easily over 150 tonight.
Looks like 25 in the backfield again.
So the running back for the Bobcats, that's Bird. Thatcher hands off to Bird up the middle. He's got some room, and he falls forward across the 25 to the 24, about a 7-yard gain on first down.
Nice carry there by Dylan Bird, keeping the legs turning, keeping the clock ticking as well.
So at the 24-yard line of Fremont, 35-7 Skyview with 3:44. And we know Coach Howell, Skyview might get down there, they'll hand it off. And if they don't score, they'll probably, if it gets down there, they'll take a knee. So Xander Stokes in the backfield, one receiver to each side as Thatcher looks at that play clock. Now he's going to hand it off to Stokes. Stokes follows his blocker. He's near the sticks. I think he's about a half yard shy. He needed 4 yards. I think he got about 3.5. Okay, now it looks like Dylan Bird came back in the game.
Yeah, we have a full different offensive line that has switched in too.
Wow, so they're just, at this point then it's the JV.
Yeah, it is. Number 80, Max Johnson in at receiver.
As Skyview huddles up at the 30.
Jaden Siemens in at O-line.
So they need 1 yard. They're at the 22. They need to get to the 21. Play clock is at 5. Oh, that's a different quarterback too.
Yes, it is. That's Jack Clark.
So Jack Clark, he's going to take the direct snap. He's up near the markers, but I don't think he got it. It's going to be shy. It'll be 4th down and 1. Clock ticking at 2:35. So Jack Clark came in, and of course it's a direct snap because he's a quarterback. So what
a running back number.
So he took it and he ran up the middle. So he stays in the game. It's about 4th and 1.5.
Got Chance Wilson in there as well. Satili Palmer.
So 2:12 left in the game.
Zach Oxenborough at wide receiver.
4th and 2. Jack Clark, the quarterback, takes a snap. He's going to hand it off. He's got the first down. He's across the 20 to the 19. What a push by that offensive line, because I think whoever the running back was it was Bird.
Yeah.
He carried someone through there, but Skyview's got the first down to the 19 with under 2 minutes to play. So they can run this play clock down to about 1.5 minutes before they snap the ball. Skyview's going to move to 4-0, Rex, and have a big showdown with Ridgeline, who was up big on Cedar Valley. So it's the two 4-0 teams meeting for the first region game, Skyview against Ridgeline, next Friday in Smithfield. So Clark, with 4 on the play clock, takes the snap. He's going to run the pitch. He pitches it out to Bird. Bird trying to get upfield, and he does for a short gain of about 2 or 3. Nice play. I mean, to come off the bench like that and be able to run a pitch and, wait for the option there. It takes the defender, and then he flips it out there. That was a good pitch right on to Bird.
Well, it's showing a lot of faith, too, in your younger quarterback, saying, hey, why don't you go out there and run the option? High-risk play. If the quarterback doesn't know what he's doing there.
Under a minute to play, clock ticking, 35-7 Skyview. They can run it down to about 40 seconds here before they snap it. Jack Clark takes it. He's going to hand off to Bird, left side. Bird finds a hole. He's still churning forward to the 5. There was a mass grouping there, and then all of a sudden Dylan Bird shot out of there and got down to the 5. And now I think Skyview will just take a knee, because they'll have to run one more play. So they'll get in victory formation, I'm pretty sure. I'd be shocked if they didn't. They have to run one more play. 35-7, clock down to 25, play clock at 20. Well, I'm going to be shocked then. Oh, no, they're in victory formation. No, they're not.
No, they're not. Yeah.
So Jack Clark out there at the 6, takes it. Yeah, he just took the snap, though, and then he went down and kneed it, and that's going to end the game as the clock ticks away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Skyview's victorious, stays undefeated. 35-7 is your final. Skyview goes to 4-0. And what we're going to do now, Rex, is we're going to go to our post-game show, the Old Gristmill Bread and Butter Play of the Game. We're going to go with that Brevin Egbert 60-yard TD run to make the Skyview lead 21-0 with 1:08. As Skyview got the victory, it was 21-0 Skyview. So on Monday on the full court press, when Jason Walker and Eric Franson asked for the Old Gristmill Bread and Butter Play of the Game, if you call in and say the 60-yard TD run by Brevin Egbert to give Skyview the 21-0 lead with 1:08 remaining against Fremont, you'll win 4 loaves of bread from the Old Gristmill. So Rex, any final thoughts before we get off the air here?
Nope, my hands are tired from running the camera. That's it.
Okay, again, Skyview, another great performance on the ground. They'll be back home. We'll be on the air as Skyview takes on Ridgeline in Smithfield. We'll be on the air around 6:45. We want to thank Rowdy Rex Davis for the camera work, the music, and everything else tonight. And I'm John Newbold. Have a great Labor Day weekend and have a good night as the Bobcats are victorious 35-7 over Fremont. Have a good night, everybody.
This Skyview Bobcats broadcast has been a presentation of 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan, and CashValleyDaily.com. Made possible by the support of our sponsors, Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Old Gristmill, Les Olson Company, DD Auto Salvage, Logan Cash Rich Credit Union, and Cash Valley Daily. Catch the replay of tonight's game on CashValleyDaily.com.